What if I told you that your constant struggle with money isn't about bad luck, the economy, or a lack of hustle, but is actually caused by a single microscopic fracture in your faith? You ask for abundance, you visualize the freedom, but deep down in the basement of your heart, you are still expecting scarcity. You stand in front of the mirror affirming, "I am wealthy," but the feeling vibrating through your nervous system is the heavy, suffocating frequency of debt. This fracture, this silent civil war between what you desire and what you truly believe is possible, is the only reason the financial freedom you are chasing remains just out of reach, like a horizon you can never quite touch. You are here because you have tried the techniques. You have recited the mantras. You have done the vision boards. But the tangible results, the kind you can deposit in a bank account, continue to elude you. You find yourself asking, "Why isn't this working for me? What am I missing?" That lingering sensation of doubt is a subtle poison. It is the true adversary. You sit down to imagine your ideal life, to feel the relief of financial independence, but your rational mind, trained by years of conditioning and the hard work narrative of the world, intervenes immediately to shut you down. Be realistic, it whispers in your ear. Look at your checking account. Look at the stack of bills on the kitchen table. Look at the economy. These shadows, as the great mystic Neville Goddard called them, are the evidence of your senses, and they have become the jailers of your imagination. You feel frustrated, perhaps even betrayed by the promise of the law. How can you possibly have faith in a reality your eyes cannot yet see, especially when you have such a desperate, burning need for money right now, in this 3D moment? The mistake that almost all of us make, the error that keeps you trapped in the rat race and the cycle of lack, is simply this. We attempt to manifest the highest mountain before we have even learned how to lift a single pebble. We ask for millions of dollars, for total debt cancellation, for the dream mansion, but we do it from a state of consciousness that has absolutely no real proof of its own power. It is like trying to build a skyscraper without pouring the concrete foundation first. Your request collapses under the crushing weight of your own doubt. You are asking your subconscious mind to believe in something so far removed from your current reality that your logical mind rejects it as a childish fantasy. And so you remain stuck, spinning your wheels. But Neville Goddard, the master of the science of imagination, understood this paradox more deeply than anyone else. He taught that faith is not some mystical gift granted to a lucky few, nor is it blind optimism. Faith, Neville taught, is the result of proof. It is a conclusion you arrive at. You cannot simply decide to have unwavering faith in the power of your imagination, just as you cannot simply decide to believe that fire won't burn you. You must experience it. You must put the law to the test in a controlled, deliberate, and almost scientific manner, until faith becomes the only logical conclusion possible. For this reason, Neville offered his students a specific experiment, a test that is as simple as it is profound, designed specifically to bypass the gatekeeper of doubt, your rational mind, and speak directly to your subconscious. This experiment is legendary among students of the law. It is known as the latter method. And I must be crystal clear right from the start. This method is not about ladders. Ladders are irrelevant. This method is about demonstration. It is a scientific experiment conducted in the laboratory of your own consciousness, designed to hand you the undeniable proof that your imagination is the creating reality. Once you have this proof, the object changes, but the power remains the same. The premise of this experiment is brilliant in its simplicity. For a period of 3 days, you are going to give yourself 2 diametrically opposed commands. During the day, in your waking state, you will do everything in your power to avoid climbing a ladder. In fact, you will write notes to yourself, sticky notes on your mirror, on your laptop, in your car, that say, "I will not climb a ladder." You will consciously affirm this intention to your logical mind. But at night, in that drowsy, receptive state that Neville called SATES, state akin to sleep, you will do the exact opposite. You will imagine, in the most vivid way possible, that you are climbing a ladder. This creates a deliberate battle within your own consciousness. On one side, you have your conscious will and your physical reality screaming, "I will not climb." On the other side, you have your subconscious imagination feeling, "I am climbing." Neville taught an immutable law. When the will, your conscious decision, and the imagination, your inner feeling, are in conflict, the imagination wins every single time. This experiment is designed to prove this fundamental truth to you beyond a shadow of a doubt. The latter is not the goal. The proof is the goal. Because once you prove you can control reality with a ladder, you realize you can control it with a check, a contract, or a bank balance. You might be asking yourself, why in the world are we talking about ladders on a channel dedicated to wealth creation and escaping the financial matrix? The answer lies at the very heart of this teaching. Because the law that manifests a ladder you are actively trying to avoid is the exact same law that manifests $100,000 in your bank account or the capital to launch your business. The mechanism is identical, only the object differs. Your subconscious mind, the God within you, does not know the difference between big and small. It does not distinguish between a wooden ladder, a single dollar bill, or $1 million investment portfolio. It acts impersonally. It only knows what you have impressed upon it with feeling. It is a biological supercomputer that executes whatever program you feed it without judgment or hesitation. The problem is that when you attempt to imagine a large sum of money right now, your internal doubt is massive. The goal feels too big for your current self-concept. You have a lifetime of programming telling you that money is hard to get, that you have to trade time for dollars, and that wealth is for other people. You have anxiety, fear, and a desperate need for the result to pay off your debts or fix your life. This need, this anxiety, creates a resistance that neutralizes your imaginal act. But a ladder is emotionally neutral. You do not need to climb a ladder to survive. You don't have desperate anxiety attached to a ladder. This emotional neutrality makes it the perfect subject for a pure scientific test of your own power. It bypasses your psychological defenses because your ego doesn't care about it. Tonight, you are going to start building the foundation of your new financial life. Not by starting with the roof, the millions, but with the bedrock, the proof. You will build your faith not on hopes or dreams, but on the solid rock of experience. When you have the proof, when you find yourself inexplicably climbing a ladder you tried to avoid, you will know that the power that moved that ladder can move your finances too. Now, I will guide you exactly through the process, the specific imaginal act you must perform tonight. Here is how you will proceed. Tonight, as you drift off to sleep, you enter that blessed state Neville called SATS, the state akin to sleep. This is that twilight zone where your conscious mind is shutting down, but your inner awareness is vivid and receptive. You are not fully asleep, but you are not wide awake. In this state, bring the image of a ladder before your mind's eye. Not just any ladder. It must be a ladder you can feel. Don't just look at the ladder. You must occupy the state of climbing it. Start to feel your feet on the rungs. Feel the texture of the rough wood or the cold bite of the metal under your palms. You must be there in the first person, experiencing the action. You must make this imaginal act so real, so dense with sensory tones, that it almost supersedes the reality of your bedroom. Feel the slight creak as your weight shifts. Feel the movement of your body lifting rung after rung. Up and down. Repeat the action. It is not a strenuous task. It is a slow, deliberate, almost hypnotic movement. You are climbing up, and you are climbing down. And while you do it, feel the satisfaction of having done it. You are impressing your subconscious with a specific action. Do this until this imaginal act takes on the solidity of reality itself, and then, and only then, let yourself slip into deep sleep. You are programming the machine of reality while the rational guard is asleep. You are planting the seed in the only soil that matters. During the day, your job is the opposite. Take a piece of paper and write several times, "I will not climb a ladder." Put these notes where you can see them, on your bathroom mirror, on your wallet. If you see a ladder in the physical world, cross the street to avoid it. If you think about climbing a ladder, consciously reject the idea. You are creating a deliberate resistance in your three-dimensional world, proving that your imagination is the supreme authority. You are saying to the universe, to your logical mind, "This is my will." But you have already planted a much more powerful seed in the fertile garden of your subconscious, the imaginal act of having already climbed the ladder. Neville knew exactly what would happen. Within a few days, usually 3 or 4, the fabric of your reality will bend. You will find yourself in a bizarre, often completely unexpected circumstance where you are forced to climb a ladder. It won't be a conscious choice. It will be a necessity emerging naturally from your 3D world. Maybe a friend asks for help changing a bulb in a high ceiling. Maybe at work you need to grab a file from a top shelf. It will happen. And the moment your feet touch that first rung, a cold chill will shoot down your spine. You will realize it worked. Your imagination, your nightly act, has overridden your conscious will. Consider the story of Mark, a man who listened to these teachings with deep skepticism. Mark was drowning in debt. His small business was on the brink of collapse, and he woke up every single day with a knot of anxiety in his stomach. He had tried affirming, "I am rich," but his reality screamed, "I am broke." When he heard about the ladder experiment, he laughed. Ridiculous, he thought. I need cash, not circus tricks. But something in him, a glimmer of desperation, decided to try it, precisely because it was so absurd and lacked emotional importance. For 3 nights, Mark imagined climbing the old wooden ladder in his garage. He smelled the dust and old paint. He felt the splinters under his fingers. By day, he diligently wrote, "I will not climb a ladder," and stuck it to his computer monitor. The 4th day passed, and nothing happened. "I knew it was nonsense," he muttered. But on the 5th day, working late in his empty office, a heavy box on the highest shelf started to tip over. The box contained vital documents. Instinctively, he grabbed the only thing available, a small decorative ladder in the library that had never been used. As he climbed the steps, he froze. A glacial cold went through him. He was climbing a ladder. Reality had bent. The universe had conspired to force him to perform the act he had imagined, despite his conscious resistance. In that moment, the debt, the fear, the crushing pressure, it all vanished. Not because the money had appeared yet, but because he had discovered the cause of it all. He had found the switch. Mark went home that night a changed man. He sat in his chair, not as a debtor, but as a master alchemist who had just discovered the philosopher's stone. He realized that if this power, his own wonderful human imagination, could orchestrate specific events to force him to climb a ladder against his will, then it could orchestrate events to bring him the solution to his debts. The law was impersonal. It didn't care if he used it for a ladder or for $1 million. That night, Mark stopped imagining ladders. He went into SATS with a new purpose. Using the exact same feeling of reality he used for the ladder, he imagined a specific scene implying the solution to his problems. He imagined his bank manager shaking his hand, congratulating him on turning his situation around. He felt the relief, the peace, the gratitude. He didn't hope it would happen. He knew it was already done. With the same certainty, he knew he had climbed the ladder. His financial reality didn't change the next day. It didn't change the week after. But Mark didn't waver. He had the proof of the ladder. About 2 weeks later, an old client who had owed him a considerable sum for years and whom he considered a lost cause, called him out of the blue. "Mark, I just closed a huge deal. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm wiring the full amount with interest." That amount was almost exactly what he needed to clear his most urgent debt. The law had found a way. This story of Mark is not just an anecdote. It is your story. It is the story of every person standing on the edge of their breakthrough, held back only by that thin veil of doubt. You are Mark, standing in front of your metaphorical ladder. Maybe your ladder isn't debt, but a sense of unworthiness, the feeling of never being enough. The fear that prosperity is for the elite, but not for you. The ladder experiment is your tool to slash through that veil. It is the deliberate act of proving to yourself that you are not a victim of circumstances, but the absolute creator of your reality. This truth is so profound, so shattering to the logical mind, that it requires a moment of pause. You need to let this sink in. If this revelation, the understanding that your imagination is God in action, if you feel a shiver of recognition in these words, I ask you to make a gesture, not for me, but for you. Hit the like button, not as a simple interaction, but as a symbolic act, a seal, a way to tell the universe, I accept this power. I choose to put it to the test. And then go down to the comments and declare your new awareness. Write, I am the proof. Write it with conviction, feeling the weight of these words. Now that you have declared your intention, let's dive deeper into the divine mechanics. Why is this seemingly trivial experiment so powerful? Why does it unlock the faith for money? The answer lies in a fundamental principle Neville Goddard taught incessantly. Your subconscious is impersonal. It is like the earth. It accepts whatever seed you plant without judgment. Plant a seed of doubt, and the earth will grow weeds of scarcity. Plant a seed of faith, an imaginal act felt as real, and it will grow abundance. The problem is that when it comes to money, most of us don't plant seeds, we plant anxiety. When you imagine money, you do it from a state of need. I need money to pay this bill, or I need money to escape this job. This need is a powerful emotional frequency, and the subconscious, which is purely reactive, gives you exactly what you are vibrating, more experiences that make you feel the need. Your desperate need for money is the most powerful prayer you are sending out, and it is a prayer for the continued lack of money. The ladder experiment bypasses this block completely. You are emotionally neutral about a ladder. You don't need to climb a ladder to survive. This neutrality allows your imaginal act to be pure. There is no resistance, no anxiety, no desperate when will it happen. You simply plant the seed, climbing the ladder, and you forget about it, allowing it to germinate undisturbed. The manifestation of the ladder, therefore, is not a miracle. It is simply the law operating in an environment free of resistance. Your task, after proving this with the ladder, is to learn to apply this same emotional neutrality to your desire for wealth. You must learn to imagine wealth, not as something you desperately need to solve a problem, but as something you are simply experiencing, with the same casualness with which you imagined climbing that ladder. Consider Anna, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. The idea of manifesting abundance felt like a cruel joke to her. She did the ladder experiment, and 3 days later, she was forced to climb a ladder to retrieve a toy from a roof. The proof was undeniable. But how could this help with her rent? Anna understood the lesson. She couldn't force herself to feel rich yet. The anxiety was too high. So she used the technique on the next logical step. Instead of millions, she decided to manifest a feeling of relief. She imagined sitting on her couch, holding a paid receipt, taking a deep breath and saying, "It's all handled." She fell asleep in that feeling of relief. 2 days later, an unexpected tax refund check arrived, just enough to cover her rent. She wasn't just believing in Neville anymore. She was proving Neville. This is the process of alchemy. You start with the ladder to build your faith muscle. Then you manifest the small checks. Then the relief. Then the financial independence. You are training your subconscious to obey your imaginal commands, starting with weights you know you can lift. When you have the proof of the latter, cherish it. Write it down, because days will come when your 3D reality challenges you. A bill will arrive, a client will cancel. Your logical mind will scream, "See, it doesn't work." This is the moment for the true mental diet Neville taught. It doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to give the problem creative power. In that moment of panic, you must stop, breathe, and go back to the latter. Tell yourself, the same impersonal law that manifested that ladder is working now for my abundance. The act is done. This is living in the end. It is knowing that the solution already exists in the realm of imagination, the cause, and is simply unfolding in the world of shadows. Think of Ricardo, a salesperson struggling to hit his commission targets. He was hunting clients, operating from a state of lack. After the latter proved the law to him, he changed his strategy. Every night, instead of worrying about quotas, he imagined shaking his boss's hand and hearing, "Top performance this month, Rick." He felt the pride, not the need. During the day, he stopped chasing. He started attracting. Clients began calling him. He shifted from the state of the hunter to the state of the magnet. The latter is your initiation. Do not underestimate this experiment or dismiss it as a parlor trick. It is the foundation upon which you will build your cathedral of prosperity. Without this proof, your faith remains a fragile theory. With this proof, your faith becomes an unshakable fact. Your mission right now is not to manifest $1 million. Your mission is to manifest a ladder. Your mission is to get the proof. Once you have that, you are no longer a gambler hoping for a lucky hand. You are the house. You are about to prove to yourself, in the laboratory of your own life, that you are not an effect, but the cause. You are reclaiming your sovereignty. From this day on, your life is divided into 2 eras, the time before the ladder and the time after. Before, you were a seeker, hoping the laws were true. After, you are an alchemist who knows they are true. The power you used to manifest a ladder is the same power that created the galaxies. It is your own wonderful human imagination. If you are ready to leave behind the old identity of the struggler and embrace your true identity as the creator, if you are ready to take the proof of the latter and use it to design a life of freedom, then join us. Subscribe to this channel, Feeling is the Secret, not as a passive spectator, but as an active member of this circle. Hit the bell because every video is a new key. And if you haven't yet, go to the comments right now and make your declaration. Write, "I am the proof." Your initiation is complete. Welcome.